Today, I want to show you the easiest way to build supercross tracks in MX Bikes, MX Sim, and MX Mobile Sim. I built this track myself in about 20 minutes based on a single top-down photo of Milestone Arena Cross. First, we'll grab a top-down photo of a supercross track or motocross track. It does not have to be supercross track. We're going to be replicating Milestone Arena Cross again from this one right here. It's super simple, and I'll leave the link to this image below if you want to follow along. Once you have a track image like you do here, you want to have to do some scaling math. You want to be able to know the conversion ratio between pixels to meters so that you can get that right in game. I'm using Figma. You can type in figma.com in your internet browser to use this for free. It's very similar to Photoshop. You can stop here, pause, take a screenshot of this before I move on here. And this is just a general thing that I follow. Your average lane width is going to be about 30 feet, and that includes 5 foot of margin ish on each side for about a 20-foot lane. That's about 9.14 meters if you convert it. Every bit of math done for track building is in meters, so we're going to want to get used to using meters. Next, you're going to want to choose some track size. This matters the most. We're going to be using 125 meters by 125 meters for an arena cross track. If you're using supercross, 250 by 250 tends to do it. Large motocrosses tend to be around 500 by 500, and then you could use 750 by 750 and up for compounds. Those are just kind of some rule of thumbs. You don't have to use those. By default, my track builder at build.mxmobilesim.com uses the 1025 by 1025 default height map resolution. It will be customizable soon, but you can also use this if you wanted to. But for now, we're going to assume we're going to use 1025 by 1025. Then you're going to want to do this a little bit of math here. You're going to want to take your lane width in meters, divide it by your track size here, just the width. Then you're going to want to, multiply that by the project resolution. And that will get you the reference lane width in pixels. So mine was 9.14 meters. That's 30 feet in meters. You can use the same numbers here. If you're following along, you can just take my example here. I'll post the file down below also. So 9.14 meters divided by 125 meters. That gets us to know that how big our lane is as a percentage of the track size. Then you multiply that by the track size in pixels to actually get the amount of pixels it takes for that reference block. We'll go ahead and move back into here, and you'll see we basically just created a width and height document at 1025 by 1025, which is the exact same resolution as our height map. We want to create a top-down image that we can use to build our track off of, just like this here that you're seeing. That way we can very easily place our jumps where they are in real life. So first thing you'll do is you want to drop your image in the center here. Don't scale it up or down or anything yet. Before you do that, you want to create a rectangle to the width and height that you previously just discovered. So mine was 74.5. There we go. And that includes the edges of the jumps. And all you want to do is scale this image up and down until it is centered in your canvas and the lanes are sized perfectly to fit within this 30 feet. Because you know this will be 30 feet in game, and you want this lane to be 30 feet, so you scale the track up or down until it matches that. If this isn't a good explanation, let me know in the comments. I can make a whole video about this. It's a little complicated, but once you have this, the rest is easy. And you can export this image. One extra step I'm going to go ahead and do is fill in this all around here with AI. It's super simple, and it makes it a lot better. You don't have to do this at all. But I'm going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to go File, Desktop. Take the image we just saved, drag it on into Photoshop. I'm going to select around it. Hold Shift while I make another selection, and I'm just going to select all these white blocks. And I'm going to say remove, or sorry, not remove. Select that and hit generative fill. Extend the image. Empty dirt lot outside of Riverside, California, which is where Milestone Arena Cross is in real life, or was. Rest in peace to Milestone. Perfect. Let's make sure none of our track really got changed. It just extends it. All right, now we'll go ahead and export as. Export is you can AI upscale this image to 4K. This is a free website. I'll leave it down below. And this will make it so that if you actually want to use this image as a template or as a texture, excuse me, it's high resolution and you could do that. It upscaled it by 2x to default. We'll go 4x to get a 4K image. Perfect. Go over to build.mxmobilesim.com again. That's the website. There's no sign up required, anything like that. And then once you're ready, go ahead and it should create a new track for you, but I need to create a new one. So I'm going to hit load, create new track. For some reason, I had to refresh people to grab this, but now I can delete that. There we go. Now we have a totally empty track. Go to settings. Go ahead and make sure you set your width, length, max height, all of this, etc., to what you feel like is going to be a good value for your track based on what we decided earlier. So milestone arena cross, XV2 tutorial, and this was 125. This was 125. Max height in meters, 6 is a good amount. I always put my ground height at 1 or 0.5. That way you could go down if you'd like. For this tutorial, we'll leave it at 0. I don't think there's any portion of the track where we need to dip down. And then the lane margin. This is going to be not something that's required, but it adds some margin around the lanes so you know not to kind of overlay them on top of each other. So next, it asks for a reference image. A reference image is an image that's going to show in here that will not be visible on the published track that helps you create the track. So go into here, and I will go to filled. And I always set this to a smaller resolution image than the total track texture. Just makes it a little bit easier on my computer. Now hit X, and you should see it show up. Perfect. Let's go back. We'll add the track texture next. So this is where it gets a little bit more challenging. Add that upscaled track texture. This is a 4K image. It's going to take a second. While that's uploading, let's go to our normal map generator. And I will turn everything off besides displacement. Select file, upscale media. We're going to want to grab that 4K image, upload it into here, and that'll get us an image that looks like this. And this will make the track look a lot better. So now that our 4K image is done uploading, you can see the track loading in over here. It doesn't have any elevation for any of the jumps, and there's no like ruts dug into the track at all. So let's go ahead and make our next step and add our normal. Go back to the settings cog in the top left, track normal texture here, and grab that normal we just made. Wait till it's done uploading. There's the normal. Holy cow, that looks better. Now you can see these rut lines coming in, etc. It looks a lot nicer. Now it's time to add our very first jumps and turns. We'll start by adding our very first turn. These are super simple. So you just go ahead over here and click turn. Drag it to where you want it on the track, and you'll see the 3D preview actually get some elevation as you move it around. I'm going to right click, rotate, drag it right over. And I usually like to line up these edges. These green edges are the edges of the rideable berm, and the black is the backside. So I like to make it a bit bigger than the rideable berm in real life. Line it up there. And our default berm is pretty tall, just so it's easy to see in the 3D editor. You can see how tall that is there. You can adjust the reflection later. But anyways, you can see how that berm is looking now. We can either go into here and we can change the width. And you can kind of see the effect that has on it. We're at 8. We can change the length, make this a bigger turn, a wider turn. And we can also change the turn angle if we want to make this a full bull, or if we want to make it only 90 degrees. But we're going to leave that all as for now, and we're going to go ahead and add our whoops next. You can also change the berm height, make your berms taller, almost non-existent. Defaults to 1.5, that's where I like them. Let's go ahead and add our whoops. So hit click, you'll see there's an arrow here. This is the direction of the whoops. Go ahead and rotate it to match our working direction. You can see the white outlines here. These whites are the actual whoops or the height map in this. So you'll see that we have too many to match this actual one. So let's count how many loops there actually are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll count that last one. So let's go ahead and set this to 9 loops. Sidewall ease determines how narrow the actual highest point of the jump is. The larger the sidewall ease, the more narrow the jump is. So you can see at 0, it means the jumps have a direct cutoff back to flat ground. And at 3.5 meters, it means it comes way in to 3.5 meters on each side. We're going to leave that at 1.5 meters for now. We're going to go ahead and turn, we have it set to 9. Whoops. Go ahead and line these all up. And perfect. Now we have loops. Recenter. How are those looking? I think we could reduce the height. My baby. 0.75. There we go. Those look good. And the first loop will always be half height with this existing template, but you can go to edit profile and you could edit these manually if you would like to change that. Cool. Let's move on to the next. The rotation isn't perfect, so let's go ahead and add a couple of degrees here. Until we get it just how we want it. And then also I noticed the edges of this still aren't quite good, so let's go make them as wide as we can. Much better. And look at that. We got a good looking loop section into a good looking berm. We'll add a double here. Supercross double. Rotate. And I'll go over a couple other features. We're not going to use them quite yet. This is our snap feature. What this allows you to do is snap these together nice and easy. I'm not going to use it right now, but it's helpful for a lot of you. This eye right here allows you to only see the height map, which is super helpful. And then if you'd like to make this even easier to transform these, you can enable this box edges here. And now, just like in Photoshop, if you're used to that, you can drag, do whatever you'd like there, rotate super easily. Let's go over to edit profile here. We'll make a change. I want to make this a lot more. There you go. That looks good. That looks okay. I like to make these like that. There we go. That's looking pretty okay. And this process just repeats. You just keep making jumps like this, keep adding berms. You can also save things to your library. So if I find I really like this double, I could say big double. I get it saved to library. And then I would find it in here. So like for our triple, I'll select one that I've edited a little bit. And I'll drag it right onto there. I'll go to Tools, Width. I'll make the width a little bit narrower. And now you can see we have a triple imported just how I like it right there. We'll add another berm. And it's really that simple. You just keep adding more features, more turns. If you want to make inside options of berms, we'll go here. Length, make that really tiny. We can even make the width a little tinier. And then we make the height smaller. And you've added an inside berm, little rut. We can make a big one for the other side. Rotate. And let's make this really big. So let's go to length. Kind of like right there. We're right back where we left off, but let's try that. That's starting to look good. Go like 1 meter. And now we can see we start to have this big big berm around the edge here. And you just repeat the process until it looks something like this. It'll take a second to load. And you can see how I have my rhythm lane done here. I have an inside rut, outside rut. I have a little here. 2 big berms. Oh, power of Control Z. So you can use Control V. There's an undo, redo here. Progress is saved automatically. You can see last modified, less saved less than a minute ago. Less saved less than a minute ago. I can reload here. Alrighty, so we're back here. Once you have this all loaded in, you've finished everything, and you're ready to finalize it and import it into MX Bikes, MX Sim, MX Mobile Sim, all we need to do is go click Export Height Map, and I've adjusted the sides, by the way, using this little thing. I encourage you to try that too. Anyways, Export Height Map. It will give you this little warning. Once you've read this whole thing and you agree to these terms, go ahead and hit Download Height Map. It'll generate that 16-bit grayscale height map that you need. Open it up. And there you have it. You have your height map ready to import with your settings, which is 125 by 125 by 6 meters, ready to import into MX Bikes or MX Sim. If you're using MX Mobile Sim, all you need to do to import it into our game is shoot me an email or a Discord message. I'll leave my contact information on screen. I hope this helps. I will make more videos for scaling math. I'll make another video for how to import your track from this track builder into MX Bikes, and I'll make another video on how to import your track from this builder into MX Sim. Follow, subscribe if you like this video. I really do hope this helped. Please post what tracks you're building down below. I'd love to see them. I'd love to help you build them if you have any issues. And stay tuned. Please download my game. It's 100% free. I really think you would like it. mxmobilesim.com. Thanks for playing. Thanks for joining us. I hope this helps. Take care.